Good morning. Thank you for joining me. We are going to be doing a review of MotilityAnywhere, CRM, and deal desking, kind of highlighting the differences, any changes and features between MotilityAnywhere and the Infinity system. This is geared towards our migration clients who are interested and or looking at changing over to the MotilityAnywhere system. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with a real quick review of the screen that you see when you first sign in. So this screen is pretty helpful. If you are in a multiple rooftop or multiple location dealership, you will see each location or rooftop listed out over here. Now you can change the order of tabs in the system for yourself. You can click your little edit pencil to the far right and be able to change the order that they show in. You can also hide them for yourself if you need to by unchecking the display button, which is kind of nice. So if you don't wish to even view one or two locations, you can uncheck those boxes. Now within each tab, you're going to have the modules for that rooftop. Now, I have a couple extra little ones in here that you may not see if you sign in on your own. I have advanced access to go ahead and do a couple extra things. So you may see a couple things on my screen that you don't yet have access to. Underneath the modules, you're going to have your quick links. So these are, again, just kind of quick and easy ways to get in touch with the things that you're going to need to do most often when you are getting into the program, like creating entities, starting deals or quotes, sending emails, accessing the point of sale, doing for cashiers, cashing out invoices that are ready to be cashed out, and opening up the settings screen. On the left-hand side, you're going to see some history, and you'll see each of your days can be expanded and shows your most recent entries or viewings. And so, for instance, you can see that I was in a couple quotes this morning and in an entity profile. These are just fast and easy ways to get back to things that you were working on recently, and it does have it broken out day by day. So since this review is on CRM and deal desking, I'm going to hop right on into the CRM module. So the CRM module is kind of laid out just a bit differently from the Infinity system. The buttons and different viewing options that were down in the far lower left of the CRM module are now right up top for you, allowing you to change very quickly between your different contact lists, like hot contacts, new contacts, people that you need to contact, and category contacts right from here. Also, something new is the ability to export these lists to Excel if needed. A couple other things have changed in the system, and you'll notice the very top section is very different. So you have your little house button in the upper left. This will open up your home screen. So if you needed to go ahead and open up a different module very quickly and easily, you can. Another thing up at the top is your search. You can go ahead and type in a search and hit enter. This is going to go ahead and give you results with this criteria, whatever you typed in. Is it in a company name? Is it part of an email address? Is it in a last name? And so, for instance, Smith as the last name. I can then go ahead and narrow things down further. So I can, if I'm looking for a specific person with the last name Smith, I can go to my column settings and filter from there. So I can say I'm looking for somebody whose name has J-O in their first name and their last name includes Smith. So just nice, fast, easy way to go ahead and search right from there. And we'll talk a little bit more about these different options in here, because in addition to the filter, we actually have some other really neat features in here. So for most of the lists in the system, you can do this. You can click the ellipsis button in the column header, hover over columns, and then choose the columns that you wish to see. Now, this is for yourself, and it is for just this one table. So for instance, I don't have my entity ID showing, but I have my entity number. Maybe I want to include their address. I can just check the box and it shows up. Again, I can uncheck it and it disappears. So you can kind of customize the look of the tables for yourself. Now, once you've customized that, you can hit Save Layout, and it will update the layout again just for yourself. But the search results given here, you can double click over a row to open up that customer record. Okay. And be able to open that customer record again very easily from just doing a quick search. We still have the advanced search. Now, the advanced search, again, super useful. You can search by entity information. You can just look at companies, just look at suppliers, etc. That's all the same from Infinity. You can search by primary salesperson, units they currently own. So this is actually kind of nice, because if you have a VIN for a unit that is already owned, you can put that VIN in and find the owner. If you're looking for people who have a specific make and model, you can put that information in and be able to pull up the people who currently own that make and model. And of course, you can go ahead and search by the units they're interested in purchasing. So this is super useful if maybe you have one thing in or one unit in, and you get in the same unit as a used unit. You want to reach out to the customers that were interested in the first one. You can reach back out to them very quickly by finding them in this list. We do still have the customized options here. And sorry, we are in my training database, so we got some weird things going on in here, but we do have custom fields still accessible in here for searching as well. Now, just like in the Infinity system, once you've done a search, you can pull up those search results very quickly by clicking on the results history and being able to kind of go through the list of results. And that way, if you've got to reach out to multiple people that meet your search criteria, very quick and easy to go ahead and flip from one person to the next. Over in the upper right, we have a little exclamation point. Now, this is a quick and easy way to get in touch with the support team. So if you're running into a problem or if you have a question, you can click over the exclamation point. And just like in the Infinity system, hitting help, this will give you a little pop-up where you can type in your question or concern and send it directly to the support team from there. Also in the upper right, we have notifications. Now, obviously, I am a slacker. I've got a whole lot of people I should be calling, and I have not done these tasks. So they are still showing as things that I need to complete. So as your day progresses, you can click over this to view more information, and you can mark them done right from here. In the upper right, under the user icon, there's going to be a little menu. So from here, you can set yourself on Do Not Disturb if you're going out of town or off for the next day. Set yourself on Do Not Disturb and basically take yourself offline so customers do not languish while you are out of town. We also have the Unlock tool over here in the upper right. So we all know that the Infinity system, the motility programs, they will lock records when somebody is in them for other people. And occasionally, you may not realize you're in something, you close your browser, you need to unlock that record. Your Unlock tool will let you do that right from there. A couple nice little features. Well, activity log is coming, but it's not out yet, but that would basically show everything that you've gone into and done. We also have a couple different new themes here. And you can go ahead and change the look of the program just by selecting a new theme. Now, I like the light theme. It's a little bit easier on my eyes, so I will go ahead and change back to that. We also have a text size slider right here that you can increase and decrease text size. Now, something kind of neat is because it is a browser, you can actually use your browser's zoom to zoom in and out to increase text size as well. So that's something super nice. The advanced view checkbox, we have a couple different views for different screens in the system. So this will go ahead and update the view on a couple different screens. I'll show you a little bit further when we get into that. But the advanced view, I do recommend to check. Help question does the exact same thing as the exclamation point right now. So help question will go ahead and open up to a little message box where you can type in a concern or question and get it over to the support team. And also under here, we can go ahead and log off. All right, so a question did come in and ask about what does do not disturb send to customers. The do not disturb doesn't actually reach out to customers. It is in-house. You are marking yourself as not available and then available. You can also opt out of rotations while you are unavailable. So, I mean, we just left the holiday season, but you could mark yourself unavailable if you were out for several days. That way, again, you don't have customers being assigned to you, and then nothing happens. Okay, so it doesn't actually send a response to the customer when they reach out or when it gets brought in from your website or what have you. It will go ahead and simply update your status and move incoming leads to people who are available. All right, so again, your contact lists are a little bit more front and center for you. So these are still set on the customer profile under the lead info tab. I am going to go ahead and click on one of these just to show you what a customer profile looks like. So customer profile is substantially similar to the Infinity system. You'll notice all the tabs. Now, of course, I have every tab that ever was. You may not have all of these tabs, but the same information is contained on those tabs. You'll be able to go ahead and view all that same information. Unit preferences, exact same. If they have a preference of a specific stock number, we can add it in. Otherwise, we can put in the unit types, makes, models, years, what have you, put in that information and be able to match against our current inventory to see what's available. Unit trades, again, no change. It's going to work the exact same way as the Infinity system. Again, you can add multiples by using the little button on the left-hand side to add a new option here. Co-buyers, exact same. You can go ahead and select the entity if they exist in your data already. If not, you can go ahead and type in their information and it will create an entity for the co-buyer. Personnel, who's working with the customer, messages, any notes, documents, etc., emails sent to the customer are all going to show here. Now, one thing you may have noticed is that the customer phone numbers, address information, all of that aren't showing in the tabs. It shows in the header. Now, the headers have changed from the Infinity system. You can collapse and expand the header sections by using the show more and show less buttons. I like to do that because I've got a smaller screen. Okay, so the customer information will go ahead and show here at the top, and the addresses, you can, of course, as always, add multiple addresses for the customer and be able to designate what type of address that is. All right. So that is the customer profile. Now, just like in the Infinity system, from the lead info tab, you can start a new quote direct from here for this customer. So this will go ahead and start a new quote in deal desking. I'm not going to do it for this customer because they don't have a unit or anything that they're interested in purchasing. So I can't use this yet until we get that information for the customer. But otherwise, that is pretty much the exact same info as in the Infinity system. Now, again, some things have moved around. So in the Infinity system, under the edit drop down in the upper left, there's a whole lot of different options. Most of those options have been moved out of CRM. Those can now be found under the settings. So the settings will let you go ahead and do different things like status names, things like that. And so anything like that, any new options for drop downs, maybe a new advertising lead, those can all be found in the settings over here in the upper right. Some of the other tools have gone ahead and moved under quick links. So the quick links are going to be your quick actions, things that you want to happen, things that you need to do immediately, like adding a new email. So you can send emails, you can add new emails, you can associate entities with the emails, you can add stock numbers, just like in Infinity. And by adding a stock number, if you have images on the unit, it will go ahead and auto attach some of those pictures to the email. We do still have the templates that you can go ahead, as long as you've got your templates set up, you can go ahead and add a template to pre-fill. You can set up your email signatures. So again, it works the exact same way as sending emails through Infinity. A different screen. Now, this does the exact same functions as adding a new entity in Infinity, but it looks a little bit different in MotilityAnywhere. When you go to add a new customer, you can go ahead and start typing in their info. This is going to look for any possible duplicates and let us, I can't type today, let us go ahead and find any possible duplicates. So as we type, it will get more and more specific. And as we enter this information, if we don't have any duplicates, we hit create new. It's going to convey all this information that you just entered. It's going to bring it all to the new customer profile. So you don't have to sit there and re-enter it again. So same exact functionality as the Infinity system, just a little bit different layout when you are starting a new customer record. Some of the tools, like I said, have moved out of the tools and over to the left-hand side for quick links. So you will be able to see different information there. Okay, question came in asking about leads that have come in through Infinity. That duplicates are based on email address. Well, our system does see the email address as a unique identifier. However, if the email address doesn't match, it does then double check on phone number. And there are a couple other things that it checks against to find that information on leads to try and eliminate duplicates. Now, obviously, if you've got somebody on there who puts in one email address and then they put in a different email address the next time they're asking for information on a unit, then yes, you're going to have some duplicates. But again, we've moved things out from under the tools menu that if you need to consolidate entities, it's all right here for you to be able to do much quicker and easier. All right, well, I can't see any typing and I haven't gotten any questions coming in on the Q&A. So I'm going to go ahead and keep going into deal desking. So I'm going to hit the little house in the upper left and I'm going to choose the deal desking module. All right, so deal desking, again, that header section, nothing has changed. It is exactly the same as I went through in CRM. I'm not going to go through it again, don't worry. But the look on the front screen has changed a little bit. You have your deals list. And again, buttons that were in the far lower left are now towards the top. And you can change between quotes, open deals, done deals, and canceled deals very easily just by using these. All right. If you do need to return to the deals list, you have this little link over here on the side and your quick links to start quotes and start deals. So if you choose either one of these options, this will be very familiar to you. You'll go ahead and select your preset that you wish to use and your entity. Now you can search for entities by typing in last name, first name, and choosing them from here and going ahead and starting a new quote or deal right from there. Again, very similar. It does look a little bit different, but the functionality is all exactly the same. All right, the little 4 square that comes up when you go to start a quote or deal, again, from the customer profile or from here, from these quick links, it still comes up. You still choose which unit preference, which trade, which personnel, etc., are all going to come across to the new quote or deal. Now, the look of a quote or deal really hasn't changed much. And if we go ahead and pop this open, I'm going to unlock the record. This header section is the big change. So this header will go ahead. It shows the buyer, it shows the unit, it shows information over here in the upper left, and your deal information as well. I'm going to hit show less to go ahead and collapse that down. All right. Now the quote tab, this is pretty much, looks exactly the same. Well, not exactly the same. I'll apologize on that one. It has all the same information as the Infinity system. It is laid out slightly differently. Now, if you go in and you open it up and it looks completely different, you may not have your advanced view box checked. So when it's not an advanced view, it's a very left to right format. Checking the advanced view box does put it in column layout, and that's a little bit easier for me. And I know that most people who have changed over from Infinity to MotilityAnywhere do prefer that column layout. So as we scroll down, all the same information is there. It's just moved out of the center of the screen down towards the bottom. So our deposits, fees, aftermarket information, memo, and job costing tabs are all now over here. You also have your ESP tab, but I don't know many places that use that. Okay. Again, buyer's order tab. Now, this one doesn't have a fancy new layout yet, but it's coming. I don't know if it's in the next update that's coming next week, but I do know that they are going to make a column layout for this tab as well. Your trades tab, your units tab, ooh, and if it's your first time going into a tab in a while, you'll actually get this little pop-up. And little pop-ups like this are kind of nice because they will go ahead and walk you through information on this tab. So you can go ahead, hit get started and do the walkthroughs. It will give you a tour, or you can skip the tour. I'm going to skip the tour. So let me go ahead and skip that. But all the same tabs that show in the Infinity system also show here. So same exact thing, the accessories tab, if you need to add accessories to the unit, I'm going to scroll down just a touch. You can see your pre-installed accessories and you can add parts as well right from here. So same thing as Infinity. Once you've added your accessories, you have the option to go ahead and start that service RO, moving those, please add a hitch, for instance, over to your service department. Your taxes tab looks substantially similar. You will have your different titling rates listed here and a breakdown below. So you'll actually be able to, again, view everything to do with the taxes and collection. Okay, are there any tabs in particular that somebody wishes to see as I'm going through the deal? Again, it's the exact same information as in the Infinity system. It's just slightly laid out differently. And of course, I may have more tabs than what you see on a day-to-day basis. So I just want to make sure that I am going to show off the tabs that you guys need to see. Yes, the question came in, does the Start Service RO button start or open up a service ticket? It does, and it tells you that service ticket or invoice number when you start the service RO. All right. So one of the other things that I see as a big change is the print docs. So the print docs, they kind of moved out of its being its own little tab to a little button down at the bottom. By clicking print docs, you can then have your little print shortcuts with one or more forms listed there, or you can choose individual forms over here on the side by checking the box. You'll see it adds it right there. And then hitting print to go ahead, open up a preview and be able to print to whichever printer works best for you. All right. Well, same thing as the Infinity system is if you wanted to keep a paperless copy, digital copy or record, you can upload documents right to the deal if needed. And when you are working the deal, if you need to bring in the trade to be able to sell it before the deal's actually done, you can still process units ahead of the sale. You can, just like in Infinity, copy the deal or quote and be able to create a brand new one, update the unit, make any changes needed, and be able to run multiple quotes at the same time. And when you have marked a deal as done, just like in the Infinity system, you would then be able to post it to accounting if your permission gives you that. Okay, question came in about the print docs and it opening previews of those documents. Yes, on a web-based platform, it will always open up a preview first. If you went to a website and you started printing things automatically, your computer would see that as a virus. It would see it as something is sending through the internet, sending a signal direct to the printer, and it's a problem. So web-based platforms don't normally work that way. They will open a preview first, and then you choose how you want to print it. So for instance, same sort of thing with service invoices. Do I want to send it to a full-sized printer? Do I want to send it to the printer in the finance manager's office and not the one out here? You can actually select the printer that you wish to print from. Question coming in about a parts invoice. You start parts invoicing from the parts and service module. I'm guessing you're asking about adding parts to a deal. Is that correct? Because normally when you're adding parts to a deal, you'll add those under the accessories tab in the parts section. You can add parts so that way they can be financed as part of the deal. This doesn't actually go ahead and create a parts invoice for the parts because they are being sold under the deal itself. Thank you so much for joining me today. I definitely appreciate all of your time today.